Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So before we dive into these topics, if you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We are starting here with the announcement that Sony will officially be attending Tokyo Game Show as an exhibitor for the first time since 2019. So pretty significant, maybe a sign that things are going to be a little bit different now that we have new leadership at PlayStation with Herman Hulst and Hideaki Nishino being joint CEOs. Being reported by Push Square, PlayStation will officially return to the Tokyo Game Show this year after being announced as part of the 731 company-strong list of exhibitors for the event. This is said to be the most exhibitors the Japanese Expo has ever had, with a total of 3,190 booths showcasing the latest games and accessories both within Japan and overseas. The last time Sony had a presence at TGS, it signed up for 3 days of live streaming, focusing on various PS4 titles releasing around the time. The biggest was a Death Stranding demo, which was complemented by an in-depth look at other games such as Final Fantasy VII Remake, Nioh 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. It hasn't announced any plans for 2024 yet, besides the fact that it will be there at the show. With strong and persistent rumors claiming Sony still has a PS5 Pro model set to launch later this year, an unveiling around TGS might be on the cards. When the PS4 Pro was revealed, it was part of a separate standalone event designed to show off the upgraded console and what it can do for upcoming titles. The show takes place from September 26th until September 29th. And yeah, this is kind of a big deal that Sony is returning to Tokyo Game Show after all of this time. Again, I do think it is a sign with the new leadership there. And I think it's a good sign because a lot of people, I think, have felt like Sony kind of neglected some of these shows a little too much and for, too long of a period. Now, I'm not saying to expect like a major presentation or anything like that at TGS. It might not be anything too significant, but what it does at least confirm is that Sony is going to have stuff that they want to exhibit, right? That they want to show off. That's why they're going to be partaking in this. And of course, the big question is whether or not Sony is going to be having a showcase before the end of the year. Well, rumors point to a PlayStation 5 Pro release targeting November, and so if that's the case, it's highly likely that this console will be officially unveiled sometime in September. Now again, they could make it a standalone event like they did for the PS4 Pro with no new major game announcements, or they could do it very differently this time where they actually want to have a full-blown showcase where they show a bunch of new games, but also the PS5 Pro and some of these games maybe running on the PS5 Pro. Of course, we're going to have to just be patient and wait and see what Sony ends up doing, but the fact that they are returning to Tokyo Game Show is a good sign for a few reasons. Number one, it shows that they are showing more of a willingness to partake in these, in-person events. And number two, it also is a good sign that Sony will be doing something of significance in the month of September. And so, yeah, I wanted to be sure to report this to you guys and let you know. As for realistically, when it comes to any new footage we could see from games that would make the most sense for TGS, I'm going to say Death Stranding 2. It's interesting to think the last time they were there in 2019, there was a big demo for Death Stranding, which was a pretty big deal at the time. I'm not saying we're going to get a big demo, although we could get a new trailer, and who knows, maybe they will show off some gameplay. It's hard to say for sure, but yeah, I think maybe something like Death Stranding 2 would make the most sense. But we are going to move on to the next topic here, which is Sony acknowledging the fact that LEGO Horizon Adventures is not going to be on Xbox. Being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle, folks over at Sony and Guerrilla Games have attempted to answer why a LEGO Horizon Adventures Xbox release is not happening. The game is launching on PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch, so the absence of an Xbox version does stand out, especially because LEGO is a beloved property. GameFile's Stephen Totillo quizzed Guerrilla Games narrative director James Windler on the topic, and as we expected, his response was a non-answer. Sony's reason for releasing LEGO Horizon Adventures on the Nintendo Switch is that it targets the family-friendly and younger audience segments. But when he was asked why the Xbox Series X and S haven't been considered, he said that Guerrilla Games is, quote, focusing on pushing the PS5 to its limits, end quote. And he then talked about how the studio aims to make LEGO Horizon Adventures look and perform great on the hardware. A bit of an irrelevant answer with him kind of dancing around the actual question. Totilo said that the reason for not releasing LEGO Horizon Adventures on PS4 is the same as above, but it's not like the Series X and S are last-gen consoles, so the real answer here is platform exclusivity, which is obvious, right? He also added that, quote, Sony doesn't have anything to announce about Xbox right now, end quote. Yeah, not a surprising answer. Of course, Guerrilla is not going to come out and say, well, we're not releasing it on Xbox because Sony doesn't want us to. It should be fairly obvious that Sony still views Microsoft as a competitor in the home console space, even though Microsoft is bringing a few of their games over to PS5, and even though the PS5 is greatly outselling the Xbox consoles, it just seems like there's no reason for Sony to release a game like this on Xbox, or any of their games for that matter. Now, I'm not saying it could never happen. I'm just saying that at this moment in time, it doesn't surprise me that Sony is actually more willing to support something like the Switch and use that to kind of tap into reaching a younger audience than they are, putting this game on Xbox and sending the wrong message. You know what I mean? So just figured I would cover this and let you know what Guerrilla Games had to say about the lack of an Xbox version for LEGO Horizon Adventures. But continuing to talk about Horizon, we have an update on the Netflix TV show. This is again coming from PlayStation Lifestyle. A Netflix TV show based on the Horizon series has reportedly been shelved, for the time being at least, as its showrunner has been accused of toxicity and bullying. The show was supposed to be helmed by Umbrella Academy's Steve Blackman, who has denied the allegations. According to a report by Rolling Stone, Blackman faces the aforementioned allegations from at least 12 Umbrella Academy staffers. He allegedly engaged in a variety of manipulative and retaliatory behavior, including but not limited to firing a writer for taking maternity leave because he felt ripped off. Although Blackman has denied the allegations, Rolling Stone's report that his Horizon and Orbital projects, both of which reportedly came in a development deal worth $50 million, will no longer be moving forward. Blackman's representatives have not specifically commented on the projects, but have claimed that he has an ongoing relationship with the streaming giant and continues to work on new projects for it. However, a Netflix representative declined to comment. It's unclear if PlayStation Productions and Netflix will find a new showrunner. The Horizon TV show was announced in 2022, alongside a God of War and Gran Turismo adaptation. No further details have been shared. So, yeah, it's one of these things where I feel like a lot of people actually completely forgot that this was something that was announced. But honestly, I think this might be for the best. I don't think Sony's going to give up and just say we're not going to do anything with PlayStation Productions and Horizon. I think they will pursue something, but I'm not so sure a live action version of Horizon would be the best thing to do. It does seem like it could be pretty complicated, and it runs the risk of just really not working out the way maybe we would imagine it working out, right? I could see it being, frankly, kind of disastrous. Maybe something like Horizon would be best for like an anime series or something like that. But yeah, we'll have to see if Sony plans to do anything more with this. But for now, the Horizon Netflix show is not moving forward. Now, we are going to move on to the final topic of this video, which talks about the PS4 apparently saving AMD from bankruptcy. This is again coming from PlayStation Lifestyle. Yet another AMD executive has stepped forward to claim that the PS4's success saved the component manufacturer from a financial disaster. Yesterday, the LinkedIn profile of a current senior director at AMD made the rounds, in which he claimed that the company avoided bankruptcy due to its work with Sony. Now, a 19-year AMD veteran has also corroborated the claim. Phil Park, a performance architect at AMD, directly quote-tweeted the viral thread that started the discussion yesterday. Park said that the original claim, made by a 22-year AMD veteran, was true to his knowledge. According to Park, AMD took a hit during the 2008 financial crisis and had to sell multiple IPs to raise cash. Park also revealed that most of us took pay cuts. It's unclear if he meant the entire AMD workforce or just the senior level executives. The 2008 global financial crisis put us in an incredibly bad position, especially after Intel's recovery. He tweeted, in 2013, the PS4 and Xbox One were released, which is what we needed for steady revenue to keep us afloat and invest in future projects. So just something interesting that I thought was worth mentioning here, where according to multiple AMD employees, the PS4 actually saved the company from going under, which is actually not that much of a surprise when you consider just how successful the PS4 was. And I'm sure AMD was very happy to continue that partnership with the PS5, with the PS5 Pro, and presumably with the PlayStation 6 as well. So there you go. Just wanted to share that with you. But guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. Again, if you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.